Mafia boss finds beaten, paralyzed woman abandoned by the roadside. Roman Castellano saw her from his car window. A crumpled figure on the gravel shoulder. Face down. Not moving. His driver slowed automatically. Keep going, Roman said. He had a meeting. Important business. Someone else's problem wasn't his concern. But something made him look back. The woman's hand. It twitched. Barely. Like she was trying to reach for something that wasn't there. Stop the car, Roman commanded. His driver pulled over. Roman got out. Walked to where the woman lay. And his stomach turned. She'd been destroyed. Face swollen beyond recognition. Blood matted in her hair. Arms bent at wrong angles. Legs twisted. The kind of beating that took time. That took hatred. Roman knelt beside her. Checked for a pulse. Faint but there. Her eyes opened slightly. Unfocused. Terrified. Can you hear me? Roman asked. The woman's mouth moved. No sound came out. Her fingers twitched again. Trying to communicate. Trying to stay alive. Roman pulled out his phone. Called his personal doctor. I need you at my estate. Now. Emergency. Severe trauma case. And come prepared for everything. He scooped the woman into his arms. She weighed nothing. Like she'd been starved. Her body went rigid with pain at the movement. A small sound escaped her throat. Agony compressed into a whimper. I've got you, Roman said. Stay with me. Her eyes found his. Desperate. Pleading. Then they closed. Roman moved fast. Got her into the back seat. Held her carefully as his driver raced toward the estate. Every bump in the road made her body jerk. Made blood seep from wounds Roman couldn't see. Who is she, boss? His driver asked. No idea, Roman replied. But someone did this on purpose. Left her to die? That kind of cruelty doesn't happen by accident. They reached the estate in 12 minutes. Dr. Chun was already there, waiting with his team. They moved the woman onto a stretcher. Rushed her inside to the medical wing Roman kept for situations the hospital couldn't handle. Chun worked for 2 hours. Roman waited outside. Pacing. His second-in-command Victor arrived. Boss, what's going on? Chun said emergency. Found a woman on the side of the road, Roman said. Beaten. Paralyzed. Left for dead. Do we know who she is? Victor asked. Not yet, Roman replied. But we will. Chun emerged. His face was grim. She's alive. Barely. 3 broken ribs. Fractured skull. Both arms broken. Her spine was damaged. That's causing the paralysis. She may never walk again. Roman's jaw clenched. Can she talk? Not yet. The trauma to her throat makes speech difficult. And honestly, she's in shock. Her body's shutting down. The next 48 hours will determine if she survives. She'll survive, Roman said with certainty. Make sure of it. Chun nodded and went back inside. Victor pulled out his tablet. I'll run facial recognition. See if we can identify her. 20 minutes later, Victor's face went pale. Boss, you need to see this. He showed Roman the screen. A photo of the woman. But whole. Beautiful. Smiling. Next to it, text. Isabel Morrison, CEO of Morrison Global Enterprises. Net worth $8 billion. Missing as of yesterday. Police are investigating. Roman stared at the photo. Isabel Morrison. He knew that name. Everyone in business knew that name. She'd built an empire from nothing. Technology. Real estate. Pharmaceuticals. Morrison Global was one of the largest corporations in the country. Why would someone do this to her? Victor asked. Money, Roman said immediately. Control. Power. Someone wanted her company. Wanted her out of the way. Her boyfriend reported her missing. Victor continued reading. Derek Lancaster. Says she went for a run yesterday morning and never came back. Search parties found nothing. Roman's expression darkened. The boyfriend reported her missing. After she disappeared. How convenient. You think he's involved? Victor asked. I think someone beat Isabel Morrison within an inch of her life and left her on a remote road to die, Roman replied. And I think whoever did it assumed no one would find her in time. They made a mistake. Victor was quiet for a moment. Boss, if we get involved in this, if we protect her, we're stepping into a corporate war. Morrison Global has enemies. Competitors. People who'd kill for access to her company. We're already involved, Roman said. The moment I picked her up, I made her my responsibility. The authorities are looking for her, Victor warned. If they find out we have her, they'll ask questions we can't answer. Then we don't tell them, Roman replied. Not until we know who tried to kill her. Not until she's safe. Inside the medical wing, Isabel's eyes opened. Everything hurt. Her body felt wrong. Disconnected. She tried to move her legs. Nothing happened. Panic surged through her. The last thing she remembered was Derek, her boyfriend of 2 years, and James, her company manager, her trusted advisor. They'd been in her home office, discussing the quarterly reports. Then Derek's expression had changed. Gone cold. He'd grabbed her. James had helped. They'd beaten her. Methodically. Brutally. Derek's voice echoing in her ears. You should have signed the company over when I asked nicely. Now we'll just take it after you're dead. They'd driven her somewhere remote. Dragged her from the car. Left her on the gravel. Derek had kicked her one last time. In the spine. She'd felt something break. Felt her legs go numb. No one's coming for you, Derek had said. By tomorrow, you'll be dead. And Morrison Global will be mine. Should have married me when you had the chance. Then they'd left. Left her to die alone. But she hadn't died. Someone had found her. Saved her. She could hear voices outside. Male voices. Talking about protection. About keeping her safe. Isabel tried to speak. Tried to warn them. Derek was dangerous. James was connected. They had resources. Power. They'd kill anyone who got in their way. But her throat wouldn't work. Only a rasp came out. A man entered the room. Tall. Dark hair. Sharp eyes that missed nothing. He approached her bed carefully. Not threatening. Just observant. You're awake, he said. I'm Roman. I found you on the road. You're safe now. Isabel's eyes filled with tears. She tried to shake her head. Tried to make him understand. She wasn't safe. Would never be safe. Derek would find her. Would finish what he started. Roman seemed to read her expression. You're trying to tell me something. About who did this. About danger. Isabel managed a small nod. Can you write? Roman asked. If I give you something to write with, can you tell me who hurt you? Isabel looked at her hands. Both wrapped in casts. Broken fingers. Useless. Roman understood. Then blink. Once for yes. Twice for no. Was it someone you know? One blink. Yes. Someone close to you? One blink. Yes. Your boyfriend? Derek Lancaster. Isabel's expression cracked. One desperate blink. Yes. Roman's face went cold. And someone else. Someone who helped him. One blink. Your manager? James. One blink. Then tears. Streaming down her face. Because it hurt to remember. Hurt to know that the two people she'd trusted most had tried to murder her. Roman's hand found hers gently. Careful of the injuries. Isabel Morrison. I know who you are. I know what they tried to do. And I promise you this. They won't succeed. You're under my protection now. And no one touches what's mine. Isabel stared at him. This stranger. This man who'd saved her life. She tried to mouth words. Tried to ask why he'd help her. Because I'm done watching powerful people destroy others and face no consequences, Roman said, somehow understanding her unspoken question. And because Derek Lancaster just made the biggest mistake of his life. Outside, Victor was already working. Boss, I've got information. Derek Lancaster filed paperwork 3 days ago, trying to claim power of attorney over Isabel's affairs. Cited her deteriorating mental health. Got 2 doctors to sign off on it. Fabricated, Roman said. Obviously. And James Chun, her manager, transferred $15 million from Morrison Global accounts into offshore holdings. Yesterday, same day Isabel disappeared. Roman's expression was deadly. They planned this. Meticulously. Derek gets legal control. James moves the money. They kill Isabel. Split the company between them. What's the play? Victor asked. We keep Isabel hidden. Let Derek and James think she's dead. Let them make their moves. Get sloppy. Then we destroy them. And if they come looking? Victor pressed. Let them come, Roman said coldly. I'll enjoy the conversation. Derek Lancaster stood in Isabel Morrison's penthouse office 3 days after leaving her to die. He wore a black suit, appropriately somber for a grieving boyfriend. The police had just left after another round of questions. Any leads on Miss Morrison's whereabouts? James Chin asked, playing his role perfectly. Concerned manager. Loyal employee. Not the man who'd helped beat their boss unconscious. Nothing yet, Derek said once they were alone. He smiled. Cold. Satisfied. Which means she's exactly where we left her. Dead. Probably eaten by animals by now. James poured 2 glasses of expensive whiskey. Isabel's whiskey. From her private collection. To new beginnings. To Morrison Global, Derek corrected. All ours. Just like we planned. They clinked glasses. Neither noticed the small device planted under Isabel's desk. Recording everything. transmitting directly to Roman's team. At the estate, Roman listened to the recording. His expression was stone. Isabel sat in a wheelchair beside him. Her body was still broken, but her mind was sharp. Watching, listening to the men who tried to murder her celebrate her death. "I'm going to kill them," Isabel whispered. Her voice was returning slowly. Still rough, still painful, but functional. "No," Roman said. "You're going to destroy them. There's a difference. Death is quick. What I have planned will last much longer." Isabel looked at him. This mafia boss who'd saved her life, who'd spent 3 days coordinating her medical care, who'd stationed guards outside her door, who treated her billion-dollar company like it mattered. Like she mattered. "Why are you helping me?" Isabel asked. "You don't know me. Don't owe me anything." "I don't like bullies," Roman replied simply. "And Derek Lancaster is a bully who thought he could get away with murder. I'm going to teach him otherwise." Victor entered with a tablet. "Boss, Derek just filed legal documents, declaring Isabel legally dead. He's citing abandonment laws, trying to expedite the process." "Can he do that?" Isabel asked, alarm clear in her voice. "Not legally," Victor explained. "Usually takes years. But Derek has judges on his payroll. Politicians. He's pushing it through fast, trying to claim your company before anyone asks hard questions." Isabel's hands clenched. Even broken, they formed fists. "My board. They'll fight this. They know Derek. Know he's manipulating the system." "Your board is divided," Victor said carefully. 3 members support Derek. They believe his story about your mental breakdown, about you running away. James has been feeding them information. Doctored medical records. Fake therapy sessions. They think you were unstable. Isabel's face went pale. "James had access to everything. My medical files. My personal information. He's been planning this for months." "Longer," Roman said. He pulled up financial records on a screen. "James has been embezzling from Morrison Global for 2 years. Small amounts, spread across multiple accounts. Untraceable unless you know where to look. Total amount stolen is close to 40 million. 40 million, Isabel breathed. "And I never noticed." "You trusted him," Roman said. "That's not weakness. That's what good leaders do." James exploited that trust. Now we're going to make him pay for it. Dr. Chen entered. "Isabel, I need to examine your spine." The swellings decreased. There might be sensation returning. They wheeled Isabel to the medical wing. Roman stayed, watching as Chen performed tests, checking reflexes, monitoring responses. "Wiggle your toes," Chen instructed. Isabel concentrated. Her face showed strain, effort. Then her left foot moved. Barely, just the smallest twitch. But movement. Chen's expression brightened. "Excellent. The paralysis isn't permanent. With physical therapy, with time, you'll walk again." Tears streamed down Isabel's face. "How long?" "Months," Chen admitted. "Maybe 6. Maybe 12. But Isabel, you'll recover. Completely." Roman's phone buzzed. Text from his surveillance team. "Derek and James are on the move. Heading to Morrison Global Headquarters. Emergency board meeting. They're making their play." Roman showed Isabel the message. "They're trying to force a vote. Install Derek as acting CEO. With you declared dead, with James backing him, they might succeed." "I need to be there," Isabel said desperately. "Need to stop them." "You can barely speak," Roman replied. "Can't walk. Can't even hold a pen to sign documents. If you show up like this, Derek will claim you're incompetent. Use your injuries against you." "Then what do I do?" Isabel demanded. "Let them steal everything I built." Roman's expression shifted. Calculating. "No. We use a proxy. Someone Derek doesn't know. Someone who can walk into that boardroom and represent your interests without revealing you're alive." "Who?" Isabel asked. Roman smiled. "Me." 30 minutes later, Roman walked into Morrison Global Headquarters. He wore a tailored suit, carried a briefcase, looked like any other corporate attorney. Victor walked beside him. 2 other men followed. Security. Professional. The receptionist tried to stop them. "I'm sorry, but the board meeting is private." Roman handed her a document. "I'm representing Isabel Morrison's interests. These are my credentials. I have legal authority to attend any meeting regarding her company or her estate." The receptionist read the document. Her eyes widened. "I'll need to verify this." "Verify it," Roman said calmly. "We'll wait." 10 minutes later, they were escorted to the top floor. The boardroom, where 12 people sat around a massive table. Derek at the head, James beside him, looking confident. Victorious. Derek's face went rigid when Roman entered. Who are you? Roman Castellano, Roman replied. Attorney for Isabel Morrison. I'm here to ensure her interests are protected during this difficult time. Isabel's dead, Derek said. His voice was too loud, too defensive. Missing, Roman corrected. There's a difference. And until a body is found, until death is confirmed, Isabel Morrison remains the legal owner of this company. Which means this meeting is premature. James stood. Mr. Castellano, we appreciate your concern. But Isabel has been missing for days. The company needs leadership. We're simply ensuring continuity. By installing her boyfriend as CEO? Roman asked. The same boyfriend who reported her missing? Who stands to inherit everything if she's declared dead? No conflict of interest there. The board members shifted uncomfortably. Some looked at Derek with new suspicion. Derek and Isabel were engaged, James said smoothly. He's the natural choice to lead in her absence. Show me the engagement, Roman demanded. The ring. The announcement. Any proof this engagement existed. Derek's face flushed. It was private. We were keeping it quiet. How convenient, Roman replied. He opened his briefcase, pulled out documents, slid them across the table. These are financial records showing James Chun has embezzled $40 million from Morrison Global over the past 2 years. These are communications between Derek Lancaster and James Chun discussing taking control of the company. And these are medical records proving Derek's claims about Isabel's mental instability were fabricated. The boardroom erupted, members grabbing documents, reading, voices rising in shock and anger. Derek stood abruptly. This is slander. Lies. We're filing charges against you for defamation. Please do, Roman said calmly. I'd love to discuss these documents in court. Under oath. With Isabel there to testify. James went pale. Isabel's dead. You're bluffing. Am I? Roman asked. He pulled out his phone, played the recording from Isabel's office. Derek's voice clear. Celebrating her death. Joking about animals eating her body. The board went silent. Horrified. You recorded us? Derek's voice shook. That's illegal. Actually, it's not, Roman replied. Isabel Morrison owns that office. Has security cameras everywhere. Standard practice. You two just forgot they existed. Security entered the boardroom. Real security. Not Derek's people. Led by the head of Morrison Global's corporate protection. Derek Lancaster. James Chun. You're both under arrest for attempted murder, embezzlement, and corporate fraud. Charges filed by Isabel Morrison, who is very much alive. Derek lunged at Roman. Where is she? What did you do with her? Roman caught Derek's wrist easily. Twisted. Derek dropped to his knees. I saved her life. After you left her to die. And now she's going to watch while you lose everything. James tried to run. Victor blocked the door. Grabbed him. Held him easily. You can't prove anything, James gasped. It's our word against a recording. Against documents that could be faked. You're right, Roman agreed. Which is why Isabel will testify. In person. In court. She'll tell everyone exactly what you did. How you beat her. How you broke her spine. How you stole from her company while pretending to be loyal. She's paralyzed, Derek said desperately. You said so. She can't testify. Can't even move. Temporary, Roman corrected. She's recovering. And by the time this goes to trial, she'll walk into that courtroom. Look you both in the eye. And watch while you're convicted. Police arrived. Real police. Not the ones Derek had paid off. Handcuffed both men. Read them their rights. As they were dragged away, Derek screamed. You're dead, Castellano. You and Isabel both. I have connections. Power. This isn't over. You're right, Roman called after him. It's not over. It's just beginning. The boardroom was chaos. Members arguing. Demanding explanations. Calling lawyers. Roman addressed them calmly. Isabel Morrison will return to her position as CEO once she's recovered. In the meantime, I suggest you elect an interim leader. Someone trustworthy. Someone who hasn't been stealing from the company or plotting murder. He left. Victor followed. They walked to the car where Isabel waited, watching everything through a video feed Victor had set up. It's done, Roman said. Derek and James are arrested. The board knows the truth. Your company is safe. Isabel was crying. Relief. Rage. Gratitude. Thank you. For everything. For saving me. For believing me. For fighting for me when I couldn't fight for myself. You would have done the same, Roman said. No, Isabel replied. I wouldn't have. I would have called the police. Let the system handle it. But you didn't trust the system. You trusted yourself. And you saved my life because of it. Roman was quiet for a moment. Derek was right about one thing. He has connections. This isn't over. He'll make bail. He'll come after you. Let him come, Isabel said. Her voice was steel. I'm not running anymore. I'm not hiding. I'm going to recover. I'm going to walk again. And I'm going to make sure Derek Lancaster spends the rest of his life in prison. Not if I get to him first, Roman replied. Isabel looked at this man who'd changed everything. This criminal who'd shown more honor than any legitimate businessman she'd ever known. Why? She asked again. Why risk everything for me? Roman met her eyes. Because when I found you on that road, broken and dying, you didn't give up. You fought, with everything you had left. And I decided right then that someone that strong deserved to survive. Isabel reached for his hand, held it despite the casts, despite the pain. Then help me fight. All the way, until Derek and James pay for what they did. Roman squeezed her hand gently. It would be my pleasure. Derek Lancaster made bail in 6 hours. His father was a federal judge. His connections ran deep. By evening, he was free. Plotting. Furious. James Chun made bail an hour later. Different connections. Different money. But equally dangerous. Roman's surveillance team tracked them both. Watched as they met in a private location. Listened as they planned their revenge. Isabel's alive, Derek said. His voice was cold fury. Which means Castellano has her. Hidden somewhere. We find her. We finish this properly. And Castellano? James asked. He exposed everything. The embezzlement. The recordings. The board will never trust us now. Then we eliminate him too, Derek replied. Make it look like gang violence. Corporate rivalry. Something that can't be traced back to us. You're talking about killing a mafia boss, James said carefully. That brings attention we can't afford. I don't care, Derek snarled. Isabel was supposed to die. Instead, she's recovering. Building a case against us. If she testifies, if she tells everyone what we did, we're finished. Prison for decades. I won't let that happen. At the estate, Roman played the recording for Isabel. She listened without expression. Her body was healing slowly. She could feel her legs now. Could move her toes. Could sit up without help. Progress measured in small victories. They're coming for us, Isabel said. Both of us. I know, Roman replied. Which is why we're moving you. Tonight. Somewhere Derek can't find. Somewhere even my people don't know about. I'm not running, Isabel said firmly. I'm done hiding. Done letting Derek control my life through fear. This isn't fear, Roman corrected. This is strategy. You're still vulnerable. Still recovering. If Derek gets to you now, you can't defend yourself. Then teach me, Isabel demanded. I can't walk yet, but I can shoot. I can learn to protect myself. I won't be helpless again. Roman studied her. This woman who refused to break despite everything. Who'd survived attempted murder and was already planning her counterattack. Fine, Roman said. Victor will start weapons training tomorrow. But Isabel, understand something. Derek's not just dangerous. He's desperate. And desperate men do stupid things. That night proved Roman right. Derek hired mercenaries. Not local thugs. Professional killers. Men who'd worked in war zones. Who knew how to breach security. How to kill quietly. They hit the estate at 2 in the morning. 6 men. Military precision. They disabled the perimeter cameras. Avoided the patrol routes. Moved like ghosts through the gardens. But Roman's security wasn't standard. He'd survived 20 years in a business where everyone wanted him dead. His defenses went deeper than cameras and guards. Motion sensors triggered. Silent alarms. Roman was awake and armed in seconds. Victor mobilized the team. 20 men responding to threat protocols they'd drilled hundreds of times. The mercenaries reached Isabel's room first. Picked the lock. Entered with weapons raised. Found the bed empty. Because Isabel wasn't there. Roman had moved her an hour earlier. To his personal quarters. Behind reinforced doors. With him standing guard. There in the building, Victor reported through comms. 6 hostiles. Armed. Professional. Capture them, Roman commanded. I want them alive. I want to know who sent them. The estate became a battlefield. Quick. Brutal. Efficient. Roman's men knew every corridor. Every hiding place. The mercenaries were good. But they were fighting on enemy territory. 3 were captured in the first 5 minutes. Surrounded. Disarmed. Zip-tied. 2 more fell back. Tried to escape. Ran into Victor's team. Went down hard. The last one reached the panic room where he thought Isabel was hiding. Planted explosives on the door. Detonated. The explosion was deafening. The door held. Reinforced steel designed to withstand exactly this scenario. Roman found the man in the hallway, stunned by the blast. Ears bleeding. Confused why the door hadn't breached. Looking for someone? Roman asked calmly. His gun pointed at the man's head. The mercenary's hand moved toward his weapon. Roman's shot took him in the shoulder. Non-lethal. Painful. The man screamed. Dropped. I said alive, Roman reminded him. Now tell me who hired you. The mercenary spit blood. Go to hell. Eventually, Roman agreed. But you're going first if you don't answer. Who hired you? Silence. Roman's phone buzzed. Victor. Boss. The three we captured are talking. Derek Lancaster hired them through an intermediary. Paid half up front. Half on completion. They were supposed to kill Isabel and make it look like you did it. Frame you for her murder. Roman's expression went cold. He looked at the wounded mercenary. Your friends are already giving statements. Telling us everything. So you staying quiet doesn't protect anyone. It just makes you expendable. The mercenary's face paled. Lancaster promised protection. Said he had judges. Politicians. Said we'd walk. Lancaster lied, Roman replied. He's desperate. Using you as disposable tools. Now you have a choice. Cooperate fully. Tell us everything. Or I let Isabel decide what happens to you. And trust me, she's much less forgiving than I am. In Roman's quarters, Isabel had heard everything through the security feed. Her hands clenched the wheelchair arms. Rage burning through her. I want to see them, Isabel said when Roman returned. The men Derek sent to kill me. That's not wise, Roman replied. You're still recovering. I don't care, Isabel said. They came into your home. Tried to murder me while I slept. I deserve to look them in the eye. Roman studied her. Then nodded. 5 minutes. That's all. They wheeled Isabel to the detention room, where 3 mercenaries sat handcuffed. Bleeding. Defeated. Isabel looked at each one. Her expression was stone. Derek Lancaster hired you. It wasn't a question. The youngest mercenary nodded. We didn't know who you were. Just had a photo. Instructions. We're sorry. Sorry, Isabel repeated. You were going to kill me. Blow up a door to reach me. And now you're sorry. We were just following orders, another one said. So did the Nazis, Isabel replied coldly. That didn't make them innocent. You chose to take money to murder someone. You chose to break into a private home. You chose violence. Now you'll face consequences. She turned to Roman. Press charges. All of them. Attempted murder. Breaking and entering. Conspiracy. I want them prosecuted to the fullest extent. What about Derek? Roman asked. The man who hired them. Isabel's expression went deadly. Derek's mine. I'm going to destroy him legally. Financially. Socially. Everything he tried to do to me, I'm going to do to him. But worse. Because I'll succeed. Roman's phone rang. His lawyer. Boss, Derek just filed emergency motions. Claims you kidnapped Isabel. That she's being held against her will. He's got 3 judges reviewing the case. Let them review, Roman said calmly. Schedule a video deposition. Let Isabel tell the judges herself where she wants to be. 2 days later, Isabel sat before 3 judges via video conference. She'd insisted on being filmed in the medical wing. Wanted them to see her injuries. See the wheelchair. See the evidence of what Derek had done. Miss Morrison, Judge Henderson began. We need to establish your current situation. Are you being held against your will? No, Isabel said clearly. I'm recovering from severe injuries inflicted by Derek Lancaster and James Chun. Roman Castellano saved my life. Provided medical care. Protected me when Derek sent mercenaries to finish what he started. I'm here voluntarily. Judge Williams leaned forward. You're accusing Derek Lancaster of attempted murder. Those are serious charges. I'm not accusing, Isabel corrected. I'm stating facts. Derek and James beat me nearly to death. Broke my spine. Left me paralyzed on a roadside. Roman found me. Saved me. And I will testify to all of this in court. Under oath. With medical evidence to support every word. Judge Martinez looked uncomfortable. Miss Morrison, Derek claims you were mentally unstable. That you'd been displaying erratic behavior. Derek fabricated that, Isabel said. Paid doctors to create false records. Lied to my board. All to steal my company. James Chun embezzled $40 million. There are recordings of them celebrating my death. Planning to divide my company. I can provide all of this evidence. The judges exchanged glances. Judge Henderson spoke carefully. These are allegations that require thorough investigation. Then investigate, Isabel challenged. Pull the financial records. Interview my real doctors. Review the security footage from my office. The truth is there. Derek and James tried to murder me and steal my company. They failed. Now they're trying to use the courts to finish what violence couldn't accomplish. Miss Morrison, Judge Williams said, if what you're saying is true, why not come forward immediately? Why hide? Because Derek has connections, Isabel replied. Judges on his payroll. Politicians protecting him. I needed to be strong enough to fight back. To ensure my testimony couldn't be dismissed or silenced. Roman Castellano gave me that chance. Protected me when the system failed. Judge Henderson cleared his throat. We'll review the evidence. But Miss Morrison, understand that your association with Roman Castellano, a known criminal, raises questions about your judgment. My judgment is fine, Isabel said coldly. I judged Derek Lancaster was trying to kill me. I was right. I judged Roman Castellano would protect me. I was right again. Now I'm judging that this court will do what's right. I hope I'm right a third time. The video conference ended. Isabel sat back, exhausted. The effort of sitting upright for an hour had drained her. You were brilliant, Roman said. Fearless. I was terrified, Isabel admitted. But I meant every word. Derek's going to pay. In court. In prison. Everywhere it matters. Roman's expression was serious. Isabel, Henderson is on Derek's payroll. I recognized him. He'll try to dismiss your testimony. Claim it's unreliable. Let him try, Isabel replied. I have evidence. Recordings. Medical records. A body covered in proof of what Derek did. He can't deny all of it. He'll try, Roman warned. Men like Derek always do. Isabel's hand found Roman's. Then we'll fight harder. Together. Until he has nothing left to deny. Roman looked at this woman. Broken but unbeaten. Paralyzed but powerful. She'd been left for dead. Instead, she'd survived. Thrived. Become something more dangerous than Derek had ever anticipated. Together, Roman agreed. Until it's finished. But neither of them knew how far Derek was willing to go. How desperate. How dangerous. Or that the real battle was just beginning. Derek Lancaster didn't wait for the courts. 2 days after Isabel's video testimony, he made his move. Not against her. Against Roman. A federal task force raided Roman's estate at dawn. 20 agents. Warrants for racketeering. Money laundering. Weapons charges. Everything they could possibly pin on him. Roman was arrested. Handcuffed in front of his own people. Victor tried to intervene. Was threatened with obstruction charges. This is Derek, Roman said calmly as they loaded him into a vehicle. He couldn't kill Isabel. Couldn't discredit her. So he's removing me. Taking away her protection. We'll get you out, Victor promised. Lawyers are already on it. Protect Isabel, Roman commanded. That's priority. Derek will move on her the moment he knows I'm in custody. Roman was right. Within an hour, Derek appeared at the estate. With court orders. With Judge Henderson's signature. Claiming Isabel was mentally incompetent. Claiming he had legal authority to take her into custody for psychiatric evaluation. Victor blocked the door. She's not going anywhere. I have a court order, Derek said, smiling. Victorious. Signed by a federal judge. If you obstruct, you'll join Castellano in custody. Isabel wheeled herself to the entrance. Her legs were stronger now. She could stand for short periods. Could take steps with assistance. But she still needed the chair. I'm not going with you, Isabel said. Her voice was steel. You don't have a choice, Derek replied. You're mentally unstable. A danger to yourself. The court has determined you need evaluation. The court you bribed, Isabel corrected. The judge on your payroll. I know what this is, Derek. One last attempt to silence me before trial. There won't be a trial, Derek said. Once you're in psychiatric hold, once the doctors I've hired declare you incompetent, all charges disappear. And Morrison Global becomes mine. Like it always should have been. Victor's hand moved toward his weapon. She said no. That's final. Shoot me, and you prove Castellano's a criminal, Derek said. Prove Isabel's been held by dangerous people. You'll make my case for me. Isabel grabbed Victor's arm. Stopped him. He's right. Violence proves his point. We need another way. There is no other way, Derek said. The order is legal. Binding. You're coming with me. Now. That's when Dr. Chen appeared, carrying a massive file. Actually, there is another way. Medical records. From 3 independent physicians. all confirming Isabel Morrison is mentally competent, all documenting her injuries, all providing evidence that Derek Lancaster attempted murder. Derek's face went red. Those are fabricated. They're notarized, Chen replied. Submitted to federal courts this morning, along with Isabel's formal complaint against Judge Henderson for corruption, against you for attempted murder, conspiracy, and fraud. You can't prove any of that, Derek snarled. We already have, Isabel said. She pulled out her phone, played a recording. Derek's voice, clear, unmistakable. Isabel was supposed to die. Instead, she's recovering. If she testifies, if she tells everyone what we did, we're finished. Derek's face went white. Where did you get that? Your meeting with James, Isabel replied. After you made bail. You met in what you thought was a secure location. It wasn't. Roman had surveillance there. Has been recording everything you've said for days. Derek lunged forward. Tried to grab the phone. Victor caught him. Slammed him against the wall. Hard. Don't move, Victor warned. Police arrived. Real police. Not Derek's corrupted contacts. Led by a federal prosecutor named Sarah Chun. She'd been investigating Judge Henderson for months. Isabel's evidence had given her everything she needed. Derek Lancaster, Prosecutor Chun said. You're under arrest for attempted murder, conspiracy to commit murder, bribery of a federal official, and obstruction of justice. Additional charges pending. This is harassment, Derek gasped. I have rights. I have lawyers. Your lawyers are being investigated too, Chun replied. Everyone you paid. Everyone you corrupted. We're dismantling your entire network. Starting with you. Derek was handcuffed. Led away. Still screaming threats. Still promising revenge. James Chun was arrested an hour later. At his apartment. Trying to flee the country with 2 suitcases full of cash. The embezzled $40 million had been traced. Frozen. Recovered. Judge Henderson was suspended pending investigation. Would likely face disbarment. Prison time. His career destroyed by his association with Derek. Roman was released that evening. All charges dropped. The federal task force had been manipulated by false evidence Derek had planted. Evidence that fell apart under scrutiny. Roman returned to find Isabel standing. Actually standing. Holding herself upright with a walker. But standing. You're walking, Roman said, surprise clear in his voice. Barely, Isabel admitted. Her legs shook with effort. But I wanted to be on my feet when you came back. Wanted to thank you properly. For what? Roman asked. For everything, Isabel replied. For saving my life. For protecting me. For fighting Derek when I couldn't. For believing me when no one else did. She took a step toward him. Painful. Slow. But deliberate. Roman moved to help her. She shook her head. I need to do this myself, Isabel said. Need to prove I can. She took another step. Then another. Until she stood directly in front of him. I love you, Isabel said. Simple. Direct. True. I don't know when it happened. Maybe when you found me dying on that road. Maybe when you protected me from Derek's mercenaries. Maybe when you risked everything to expose his corruption. But I love you. And I needed you to know. Roman's expression softened. Isabel, I'm a criminal. You're a CEO. Our worlds don't mix. Our worlds already mixed, Isabel corrected. The moment you picked me up. The moment you chose to save me instead of driving past. You changed everything. Changed me. You'll regret this, Roman warned. Being with me means danger. Constant threats. Never feeling completely safe. I already faced danger, Isabel replied. My own boyfriend tried to murder me. My trusted manager stole from me. The system I believed in failed me. But you? You kept every promise. Protected me when you had no reason to. Fought for me when I couldn't fight for myself. That's worth any danger. Roman's hand cupped her face gently. You're sure? Completely, Isabel said. He kissed her, careful of her healing body, but with an intensity that spoke of weeks of suppressed feeling, of connection forged through crisis. When they broke apart, Isabel was smiling. So what happens now? Now you recover, Roman said. Fully. You take back your company. You testify against Derek and James. You rebuild everything they tried to destroy. And you? Isabel asked. What do you do? I stand beside you, Roman replied. However you need me. Whatever you need me to be. 6 months later, Isabel walked into a courtroom. No walker. No wheelchair. On her own 2 feet. Strong. Confident. Alive. Derek and James sat at the defense table. Both looking defeated. Both knowing what was coming. Isabel took the stand. Raised her right hand. swore to tell the truth. Then she told everything. Every detail. Every moment of that horrible day. The beating. The betrayal. Being left to die. The jury listened with horror on their faces. The evidence was overwhelming. Medical records. Recordings. Financial documents. Testimony from the mercenaries Derek had hired. The verdict took 3 hours. Guilty on all counts. Derek received 40 years. James received 35. Judge Henderson received 20 for corruption. Outside the courthouse, Isabel stood with Roman. Media surrounded them. Cameras flashing. Questions shouted. Miss Morrison, how does it feel to get justice? It feels like survival, Isabel replied. Like proof that truth matters. That victims can become victors. That attempted murder doesn't define you. How you survive it does. What about your relationship with Roman Castellano? A known criminal? Isabel looked at Roman. Smiled. Roman Castellano saved my life when the system failed me. Protected me when I couldn't protect myself. And showed me that honor isn't about what's legal. It's about what's right. I'm grateful for him. And proud to stand beside him. Roman's hand found hers. Squeezed gently. They walked away together. Past the cameras. Past the questions. Into a future neither had expected, but both had fought for. Morrison Global thrived under Isabel's leadership. Stronger than ever. She fired the corrupt board members. Hired people she trusted. Built something better. Roman continued his business. But quietly. Carefully. With Isabel's influence softening some of his harder edges. They were an unlikely pair. CEO and criminal. Corporate elite and mafia boss. But they worked. Balanced each other. Challenged each other. Loved each other. And sometimes, late at night, Isabel would think about that road. About lying there dying. About Roman's face appearing above her. Saving her. I never thank you properly, Isabel said one evening. For stopping that day. For not driving past. You've thanked me every day since, Roman replied. By surviving. By thriving. By becoming more than what Derek tried to make you. Victim. Broken. Forgotten. I became what you saw in me, Isabel said. Strong. Fighter. Survivor. You always were those things, Roman corrected. I just gave you space to remember. Isabel leaned against him. What we built. What we are. People will never understand it. Good, Roman said. Let them wonder. Let them question. We know the truth. That's all that matters. And in a world that tried to destroy her, Isabel Morrison had found something unexpected. Not just survival. Not just justice. But love. Real. Complicated. Fierce. The kind that saved lives. Changed futures. Proved that sometimes the most unlikely people find each other in the darkest moments. And create something beautiful from the ashes. This story proves that survival means more than just staying alive. It means fighting back, reclaiming your power, and building something better from the ruins. If this moved you, subscribe for more stories of courage, justice, and unexpected love. Drop a comment telling us what you felt, and share this with anyone who needs to know that victims can become victors. Thank you for watching.